Welcome to the Stay Ready Real Estate Podcast, where we stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I'm your host, Emeka, and in each episode, I'll be breaking down real estate topics to help you find and lock in your first deal. This podcast is all about building wealth through real estate, and the best part, you don't need a lot of money to get started. So let's jump right into it. What's going on? It's your boy Emeka, and today what we're here to talk about is what does success look like for a real estate investor, right? This episode is dedicated to my boy Nico Salgado with Small Acts Communities, Small Acts Podcast. Go check that out. But the reason why I want to talk about this is because I think a lot of people get confused on what real success looks like as a real estate investor, someone who is doing flips, someone who is doing multifamily, someone who's doing long-term rentals. So the thing that I hope you get out of my podcast today is what real success looks like, the ups, but mainly the downs and the sacrifices it takes in order to be a successful real estate investor. And obviously I said Small Act Communities Podcast helped me decide how to talk about this, but also just what I see on social media, what I hear on different podcasts, what I hear in small different conversations in these real estate meetups. Sometimes it's kind of concerning. Sometimes it's very eye-opening on what people think success is in real estate. And I even had a conversation today about what success is and how just because I have 30 plus units doesn't mean that I'm rich, doesn't mean that I have millions, doesn't mean that I'm just making money on a consistent basis every month. That's not what it is, right? So success in real estate, success is ugly, quite frankly. And the reason why I say that, because it's no easy path. Because if it was easy, everybody would do it. If it was easy, you probably wouldn't be watching or listening to this podcast. You'd just be out there working, getting money. But the reality of it is, that's just not the case. It's not. I don't know what else to say. Real estate is sometimes boring. It sometimes sucks. You're arguing with people. You're questioning why you're even in real estate. You're questioning if real estate's for you. A market turns. You don't know what's going on. You got investors' money in your deals, and you have to explain to them what's going on, why things. Success is tough. Success is not social media. I can put on my bio on Instagram, Facebook, you name the platform, assets under management over 3 million, right? Because I've seen people who have AUM, assets under management. It could be $20 million, 5,000 doors, right? From a social media standpoint, that looks great. It builds credibility. It makes people think that, like, oh my gosh, like they must be so experienced. They must make so much money. But the reality is, most people who are showboating online on social media, there's not much money being made, or they're scamming. Period, point blank. For me, what I have to do almost on a daily basis, and especially when I just get a deal or I'm in the middle of a deal that's either being rehabbed, or I'm making it a pad split, or there's turnover with a new unit, right? I am consistently, as a boots on the ground, I'm going to talk about my role specifically as a boots on the ground. I'm the one driving to these properties pretty consistently. I take photos. It doesn't sound like much, but the radius of my properties are roughly all within an hour, but a minimum of 20 minutes to the closest property. And I'm typically visiting once a week. So what does that look like? That means that 20 minutes to one property, another 20 to another 20 to another, maybe an hour to one. I got one in Valrico. So I might be spending a couple of hours a day just in the car driving. And then on top of that, I'm at the properties evaluating, looking at everything, right? So I'm looking at pictures pictures from before, pictures from afterwards to see what the contractor has done. I can easily determine what's been done, what their time has been spent on, et cetera, et cetera. And most of the time, it's pretty good. But occasionally, we'll get someone get a contractor, a handyman who did something bad, and now I gotta correct that, or let the team know, or let the property manager know that this turn was bad. Go back and fix it, please. Right. So there's a lot of time, literal time, just taken up on one day for me when it comes to literally just visiting a property and checking on it. Right. Now, let's say I'm trying to acquire a flip. The previous example was whenever I was visiting multifamilies and properties that are basically done or being rented. Right now, let's go over to a flip. Right, with a flip, I'm spending a good amount of time on it. Right, I'm visiting a property a couple of times a week after work just to make sure the progress that I expected is done. Time is the biggest killer, right? Don't go with the cheapest contractor. Go with the contractor who wants to do what you ask, as well as gets it done with quality, because quality is important, but time also kills all. Right. So on a consistent basis, they're asking me questions. What do we want to do? We open up a wall, figure that out. Right. I'm also having to do the underwriting, triple checking that, stress testing that, doing the financing, how we're going to finance the deal. What investors do I want to reach out to? Who do I know with money who is trying to make a return on the deal? This is an opportunity for our investors. This is not asking for money. So now, not only do I need to do the underwriting and figure out who, but I also have to present, right? These are hours and hours and a lot of time out of my days to figure out who to go to, how to make the deal work, especially within those 30 days, because it takes roughly 30 to 45 days to close, depending on the property, depending on the information. Now, on top of that, we got to do with all the legal paperwork, right? We got to do the operating agreements. We have to maybe build or make new LLCs. We have to figure out who's all on the LLC. And if we want to do a refinance and if people don't want to be a guarantor, then there's all conversations, group chats, Zooms, whatever, you name it. There is a lot that goes on. And the thing that I actually haven't got to yet, which is my main point, you can spend hundreds of hours on this stuff and not make a dime. Not make a dime, not make a penny. With my multifamily real estate, as a GP, I haven't made a dollar yet. I've invested in this deal as an LP as well. As an LP, I've made money, right? So if you're a GP expecting to make money, that is just not the case, right? You're going to be putting in so much work to maybe not get paid for 3 to 5 years afterwards, right? Am I successful? Am I successful? I think absolutely. Absolutely, I am successful. But people don't see or hear or feel the grunt work that's involved with being successful or looking successful to the public eye, right? Period. Social media is a joke, right? Maybe I shouldn't have been so harsh about social media. I use social media every day. But when it comes to your brand and what you're trying to do in real estate, you are here, you are listening here because you're interested in investing in real estate, whether it's a flip, multifamily, long-term rental, development, you name it. You want me to tell you what you need to do in order to get your first deal. I have those episodes and I've talked about that in previous episodes, right? And in this episode, I'm here to tell you what's actually going to happen and what success actually looks like. And it's very hard work. Anyone who's telling you that real estate is easy, it's not. Real estate is simple. Simple doesn't mean easy. And you really might not make a dollar after putting 20 hours in over a week, period. And did I also tell you that I have a W-2 job? I'm a full-time employee doing all of this because I know that I'm most likely not going to be able to be on my own and be real estate full-time. If I went real estate full-time, I'm sure I'd be killing it. but I'm sure I wouldn't be killing it as much as I would think. I wouldn't be able to make up for my W-2 income. I wouldn't have the insurance. I wouldn't be able to provide for insurance for my wife as well, right? People don't want to talk about, the tough conversations with contractors or getting fired, firing contractor, or even losing $50,000 because a contractor, is stealing from you. Or just recently, I had a contractor walk out on us due to some disagreements that my team and their team had. Right? That's not fun. I am the one showing you this stuff. If you're following me on YouTube, I'm showing you the very candid, the candid life of a real estate investor because I am that person. I am not here to blow smoke up your hiney, right? What does success look like? Success looks like this, right? It's not supposed to be easy. The things I'm telling you are things that no one wants to tell you, right? I've said in previous episodes that sending an email is not hard. People send emails every day. We're doing it all the time, responding quick enough whenever it's urgent, when your title company needs this to make sure you close on time in the middle of a workday, right? I can't always get to things, but sometimes you have to figure out a way to get it or have someone else email them for you, right? No one talks about GPs not making money. As a multifamily syndicator or a multifamily investor, I don't know anyone talking about GPs not making money. People talk about an acquisition fee, but people want to see you have money in your deal. And a lot of people who are GPs for multifamily, general partners, which is the people who are basically orchestrating the deal, and they're getting LPs, passive money to invest in their deals. The passive people win the majority of the time because they're the ones that are making money. As a GP, we're putting in hard work. During a hurricane, middle of a hurricane, it's raining cats and dogs. I'm at Home Depot picking up sand, getting cardboard, doing all this stuff just to make sure my tenants are okay before I make sure myself was okay, right? Because I know I have $1 million investment that other people put their money in and they're expecting us to take care of it. Or else lawsuits can happen or people get upset. And then it's a small world in the real estate space. Whenever you're in it, you're going to realize it is not as big of a world as you think, especially the bigger you get. So when it comes to success in real estate, success is not pretty. Success is not what you see on social media. Social media is a resume. It is a highlight reel. Most people are not showing you what it really takes behind the scenes. I listen to so many podcasts with so many success stories. I got $100 and I made, $3 million off my first deal. Yes, it does happen. Very rarely, right? All the other times that people are investing, they are giving blood, sweat, tears, time, years of their life sometimes going into this. And I wouldn't trade it for anything because I know that true success and true wealth building takes time. True success is not easy. True success requires grit, period. My friend Nico, who I shouted out, he's also a partner of mine. He has about 3 different jobs. He's orchestrating all these deals, and it's not easy. Try raising millions of dollars while negotiating with brokers, sellers, working with attorneys, working with the title company, working with investors. Like, people do not understand how much time, energy, sweat, tears, blood, stress, mental capacity that it takes to invest in real estate. It's worth it. It's worth it. And if you can't handle that, if you can't handle that, if you can't handle the time, if you can't handle the hard work, this is not for you, right? Success is not pretty, right? The people who are very successful, very wealthy in the real estate space, they make it look easy because they spent hours and hours and hours of stress, time, tears, energy, sweat, equity into just failing, 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 right? Failing, right? Failing. And that is okay because I might have said they're failing, but every failure is really just a lesson for the next deal, for the next person. And a lot of people don't want to talk about that. A lot of people, a lot of people don't want to talk about lessons. A lot of people only want to talk about the sunshines and the daisies and how many doors they had versus how they got there. Versus now that you have that many doors, what are you doing today? Getting the getting the deal is honestly probably one of the easiest parts of real estate, right? The hardest part, and this is where the success comes in, is the execution. Success is executing a business plan. Success is communicating with all stakeholders on a deal consistently, recurrently, where everyone has the same mission and the same goals, and we're doing everything to get there together. There is no one person in real estate, right? Because each real estate transaction has so many different people. So, what is success? Success is going to be different for everybody. Success for me is going to be different than success from you. What is success for me? And then I'll say that so you can understand and figure out what success is for you. Success for me is making enough rental income where I have the option to retire early if I wanted to, right? That's also being in enough deals alone or with minimal partners to handle it with maybe one meeting every other week or once a month, where it's as hands-free as possible without giving up too much reign to other people, right? Success to me is not about the door count. It's strictly about the cash flow count. Like, how much am I making a month? How much is it covering the expenses that I have to provide for myself and my family? Success is making sure that my cash on cash return is above 30% as much as possible. Now, that's what my success is. That's what I will deem success. I wouldn't say I'm a failure now because I don't get it, but I will tell you that I am a step closer every single day to being the success that I want to be, right? I want to be success and I want to be successful and I want you to be successful. And it comes with grit and it's not pretty and it's not easy, but it can be done if you understand what your end goal is and what your why is. Don't measure your success by other people. You are the only one who can determine what makes you successful in real estate. So out of this podcast, I want you to understand what success is. Success is not pretty. Success is not what you see on these Instagram bios or these podcasts. Success is what you make it. And success is not meant to really be for everyone because a lot of people think they want to be a real estate investor, a multifamily syndicator. A lot of people think that this is for them and this is their calling, and then they get in and it's not what they expect it to be because a lot of people expect to make money quick. No. The opportunity cost for success is heavy. You're going to miss out on fun time. You're going to miss out going to the bar. You're going to be missing out, going to drinks for friends. You're going to miss out. You're going to miss out on those car events. You're going to miss out on some family events. Sometimes, like, people need to understand that in real estate, success isn't always pretty, but it can be done. And the more experience you have in real estate, the more real life experience that you have doing deals and communicating with all the different stakeholders and understanding that 9 times out of 10, something's going to hit the fan and you got to figure out a way to handle it. And that is when you're going to be contemplating your entire life while you're in it. That's when you dig deep. That's when you look back and figure out why you're in it. And that's what's going to make you the most successful real estate investor out there for you. Until next time, team. see you. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, make sure you like and subscribe so you never miss when a new one drops. And if you're loving this content, come join me over on YouTube. My link is down below in the comments. I take you behind the scenes of my real life as a real estate investor. You get to see inside my flips, my rentals. You get to see the full journey of me growing from basically 33 units to 100 units, which is the goal I'm shooting for. No highlight reels, no sugarcoating, just a real thing. See you next week.